tonight, the Hawaii Warriors, the last team to make it into the MPSF tournament, is the 8th seed. They've won 4 of their last 6, and they're hoping to pull off an upset against the top-seeded BYU Cougars, who for the first time since '04 are the #1 seed and have the home court. Ben Patch, Ryan Boyce and company look to get the quarterfinal win. Hawaii versus BYU is right now on BYU TV. To the Smith Fieldhouse in Provo, Utah for the MPSF quarterfinal. 8 seed Hawaii taking on #1 seed BYU. Let's lay out the MPSF tournament for you. The winner of this one will play the winner of UCLA and Pepperdine. Also going on Long Beach State and Stanford and Santa Barbara and Irvine. All matches played tonight. The other 3 getting started an hour from now. Jerem Jordan alongside Steve Bale. It's been a long season for BYU. They played 24 conference matches, won the league by 3 games, including 2 wins against Hawaii to start the season. And Steve, this is what you play for. BYU got home court advantage throughout the tournament should they win, but Hawaii has played well of late. BYU needs to win this tonight to advance to the semifinal.
Yeah, and this is a very dangerous Hawaii team. Although they are 10-14 in the MPSF, they've won 4 of their last 6, so they're streaking at the right time. They're playing their best volleyball of the year right now.
Let's talk about a couple of impact players, one for each side. Brooke Sador, the reigning MPSF Player of the Week, and the MPSF Player of the Year, Taylor Sander.
Yeah, Brooks, a 6'5" outside hitter. He's played mostly there throughout his collegiate career. However, last weekend put up 50 kills as an opposite. They did move him back to the outside tonight because they need him in the passing rotation. But he's a very dangerous player. Taylor Sander, recently named MPSF Player of the Year. This guy has the most service aces in school history as a junior and really is a driving force behind a very powerful offense.
As mentioned, BYU won the first 2 to start the season, and it was our first broadcast on BYU TV. BYU owns the series history, 33-16, and in the MPSF tourney, BYU leads the series 4-1. The last time they played in the MPSF tournament, 2003. Well, let's send it over to the Smith Fieldhouse public address announcer, Adam White. Okay, we'll get to Adam in just a moment. BYU wearing the white shirts, blue shorts, and Hawaii in the black and green. Both teams running 2 liberos, by the way. We'll get to that in a few moments. So you see the 2 alternate jerseys. BYU and Hawaii already met twice earlier this year. BYU, should they win this one, likely locks up the at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. Nothing guaranteed per se, unless BYU gets to that final, which would be in the Smith Fieldhouse should they win. But it's going to be a big, hopefully, 2 weeks for BYU. Next week's semifinal is on Thursday, and then the championship is on Saturday. Let's go back to Adam White, the public address announcer for the Smith Fieldhouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the George Albert Smith Fieldhouse on the campus of Brigham Young University for tonight's playoff volleyball match between the Hawaii Warriors and our BYU Cougars. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the BYU Air Force ROTC Color Guard presents the flags of the United States of America and the state of Utah. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a moment of silence as we remember those killed and injured in the bombings at the Boston Marathon on Monday. Thank you. And now to honor America, You're already rising. We'd like you to sing along with Weston Riot as he performs the national anthem tonight. Weston will start, and you're welcome to join in after.
Oh, say can you see my daughter behind? What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare the walls were singing there, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled
Our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by the bombing at the Boston Marathon. And now to less meaningful things, a volleyball match. BYU and Hawaii. If you're just joining us, pretty good crowd on hand for this one. It is finals at BYU, so I don't expect the same amount of students to be in the house tonight, but still one of the best crowds in the country for the nation's leading not only team, seed, but also attender of games at home. Let's check in with the third member of the broadcast team, Robbie Bullo.
Hi guys, I'll give you a personnel update for both teams. First of all, Hawaii is going to be without two of its top three hitters tonight. JP Marks, a sophomore from Germany, has some eligibility issues and didn't even make the trip to Provo. And Siniša Zarkovic, who was an all-MPSF freshman team selection. He sprained his ankle early in April, did not play in either of the matches at UC San Diego last week. Tonight, at best, he will be a serving substitute for this team, so the Warriors will not have him at the net where he has been dangerous this year. For BYU, several players fell ill early in the week. In fact, 6 of them missed practice on Tuesday, but athletic trainer Blaine Empey told me that the stomach virus had run its course by Thursday, and as of tonight, everyone is healthy and ready to go for the quarterfinal.
Thank you, Robbie. Good stuff. Let's look at the Hawaii starters, 11-16 on the season, 3-9 on the road. They finished in 9th place in the MPSF. Cal Baptist was ineligible for the tournament, so they get in. Sador switches to outside hitter tonight with Jace Olson, who replaces Zarkovic, as Robbie mentioned. The middles are Weston Holtz. Averill, normally a middle blocker, will become the opposite, and Joby Ramos is the setter. Charlie Wade is in his 4th season at the helm in Honolulu, 52 and 59 for the Warriors. Here are the starters for the #1 ranked team in the land and the #1 seed in the MPSF tournament. 22-4 overall, 14-2 at home, the first regular season title since '04. Sander and Rivera the outsides, Lavaya and then Young getting the start over Hatch. Those 3 middles have been playing well for BYU. Patch is the opposite, and Ryan Boyce, the mustache, is the setter. BYU is coached by Chris McGowan, 2nd season, 47 and 11 for BYU. The one thing, among others, that Hawaii has going for them is that they are a very good serving team. And in talking to Charlie Wade before the match, he said, we've got to be able to, like all coaches say, serve effectively and serve receive effectively. We'll see how elevation affects them, but that's the one thing that they have going is they can serve it well.
Yes, they can. And I you can't stress the altitude here in Provo, and that seems to wreak havoc on so many great serving teams that come in here. There's just not enough time to adjust to be able to serve that same ball they serve at home. So we'll see if BYU suffers from that or if they just bring it tonight.
January 4th of this season, BYU and Hawaii met for the first match of the season for both. BYU swept the Warriors 25-18, 25-22, 25-17. Taylor Sander had 14 kills, hit .542. Ben Patch in his first match, 8 kills, hit just .167. Had a strong start to that, but BYU came out and won that night in 3, and then the next night in 4. But this Hawaii team, Steve, very different from the one that we saw earlier in the year, as mentioned by Robbie Bullo. Some personnel changes, not to mention Max Wexung was their setter. They find out he had a micro tear in his labrum. He sits out, different setter. You have a different libero. This Hawaii team's different, but one that BYU should beat. But it is a quarterfinal. 2 years ago, BYU was a 2 seed, lost to a 7, Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's a crazy time of year. Teams really, they learn how to step up in moments like this. And I mentioned earlier, they've won 4 of their last 6. They are peaking right now. They're playing, as Charlie Wade said, the best volleyball of the year. So although they've had some personnel changes and a different look, it's a dangerous team, you know, and it's a dangerous time of year. It's win or go home. So they know that. The Cougars know that. Cougars, though, have so many weapons. And, you know, when you move people around on the court, the blocking assignments can get a little bit hazy, and you can just, you know, get in a little trouble sometimes. And BYU runs a very powerful, very fast offense. So we'll see if that gives Hawaii trouble tonight.
This is the best season BYU's had since 2004. And they've earned the home court, and you play the entire season for hopefully what will be the first of 3 matches at home in the tournament. And nothing should be left to chance. And BYU has made that clear this week in practice. They don't think that they're just the automatic at-large right now. They want to beat Hawaii, win the semifinal, and win the tournament, so nothing is left to chance. We are underway in the MPSF quarterfinal. Ben Patch for the first kill of the match, 1-0.
Yeah, it's game on. Ben Patch coming out of the back row for the first swing of the night. Gets the kill off the high hands. El Bigote back to serve for the Cougars. My accent's probably horrible when I say that, but
it's in postseason form. Rivera. Here's Boyce, cross court over to Sander. His first swing is off the tape. Averill will send it outside to Sador, triple blocked. BYU a bit out of system. First couple shots, and that one off the touch. Sander with his first kill, 2-0.
A lot of times you mention that the outside hitters are kind of the garbage men, you know. They have typically the big messes to clean up. Taylor's first 2 sets of the night were less than to be desired, but able to put that second one away, which is credit to him. Tough set.
Looks like they want to examine one of the balls that was used, by the way. Oh, maybe it's just wet.
Sandpaper, what? Vaseline, what's going on?
Looks like they're switching.
Trying to do some stuff to that ball to make it move a little more.
They took it away.
Wow. Oh, he just put a knife in it. No, that's not true.
And apparently, yeah, needs a little bit of air, it looks like.
Wow.
Maybe Taylor Sanders said, hey, I would have detonated that. I would have put that down had that been regular. So K2-0, Ryan Boyce on the serve. Taylor Sander with the big block, 3-0 BYU.
Yeah, I think this ball's way better. BYU thinks so anyway. Big block there on the outside for the Cougars. Nice, showing it and taking away. Taylor Sander reaches into the angle. Trouble there. Oh, and he got a piece of it, got just enough. Once that ball enters the plane of the net, if the blocker should touch it, the setter on the opposing team, if he is in the back row, is considered a back row attacker. So smart heads-up play there from Taylor Sander. 4-0 early in the first set.
Boyce again down the line. Olsen on the serve receive. and holds into the net. 5-0, a disastrous start for the Warriors.